Welcome back to Rainbows and Razor Blades, a show from the void. By the Gregorian calendar, it is currently the second day in the 10th month, the month of October, in the year of the Lord, 2023. By the revolutionary calendar, it is currently the 11th day in the month of vintage, Vendémiaire, and it is the first day of the year, or the first month of the year. So that means it's the 11th day of the solar calendar, I think, but that could be off by a little bit. Today we come live as Pokeweed. Today we come live from Anley Pond in Colony/Albany, New York. We're right by the airport. We're going to be filming just the changing foliage. You know, you got a lot of beautiful gradients and colors and stuff like that. I'm waiting on a call from my family. They're with my grandmother in the hospital. They're like, oh yeah, like we were asking her, you know, if you want to talk, you know, who do you want to talk to? And I was like, well, I mean, I'll talk to her. Like, yeah, you should. Because, you know, she said something funny. I was like, what's that? Because, like, I talk to her all the time. I doubt she said anything funny. And, like, that's what she said. She said she was having trouble remembering who she has been speaking to and who she has and has not talked to. But when we asked about you, she said, oh, yeah, we talk all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty true. I do have an entire series called Stella. And, yeah, maybe I'll put that all in one big video and release that if she passes. You know, she's very old. She's 90. She suffered a heart attack, I guess was my understanding of what has been going on. So she's been in the hospital. Very good medical treatment. Very, very good. Like, she has had impeccable, like, commendable, like, beyond first world, lucrative, Richie Rich, like, seriously the best top of the line medical care for the last, like, 15 years. Like, at least, you know, she's had it, I don't want to say she's had it quote unquote easy, because that's not really, like, you don't really want to say that, but she hasn't struggled, and yeah, I'm pretty grateful for that. You know, this is my paternal grandmother who just had this happen, and my maternal grandfather, my maternal grandfather, so my grandfather, my mother's father, also recently just died from also a heart attack. And I won't speak ill of the dead, but I gotta say, it's not a funeral I'm looking forward to really ever attending. And I'll be really honest with you, I'm not really sure the family's gonna do one. And I think that's just kind of how it's gonna be. So, you know, this one weighs a little heavier because me and Stella we're bros, you know. I choose my own bros. Bros, they can opt out and they can be, I'm not your bro. But she hasn't opted out, so as far as I'm concerned, my grandma is a bro. Like, I'm glad she's not my direct mother, but yeah, she got a lot of good stuff to say. I talk to her all the time. She got some good advice, especially where my mother does not have good advice, as you all know. So, you know, there's some trait overlap. I think that's mostly just generational. But yeah, you know, talking to a 90-year-old woman every once in a while, she'll say some things that you're like, oh boy, like, your brain's really not working. But for the most part, she's been pretty sentient. You know, what's the word? Not clairvoyant, but at least coherent, you know. And so yeah, you know, call her up. She talks for about 15 full minutes, and then we say goodbye. So yeah, I'm looking forward kind of to talking to her today, just to cheer up a little. I'm so allergic today. Oh my god. I drove here today, actually. I just ripped my shirt, by the way. You heard that. So that sucks. This shirt's trashed anyways, but yeah, I drove here today. So actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just keep walking. Let's do the whole thing. Why not? We'll be right back when there's something to film other than this. Thanks for joining. I wonder if... So there's quite a bit of mosquitoes, so I'm not going to linger too long, but I just wanted to showcase the ferns, because I really like the changing of the leaves this time of year, as, you know, the chlorophyll starts to fade and things start to kind of lignify a little bit. And I really like that process of, like, you don't want to call it death, because it isn't really the same. Like, I wouldn't say that this plant is necessarily dying, it's definitely wilting, but, you know, its root structure will still remain, and it'll grow back, like these cucumbers over here. They're star flowers, they may have been. Actually, I didn't really get a good look, and I know both of those grow out here. God, the bugs are actually really bad, but I just wanted to showcase the decay cycle. Like, look at that. Look at that great, like, rotted. I just got done talking to her. We talked for about a little under 6 minutes, but that was enough time. You know, she's a little confused about a couple things. You know, she's asking me, you know, how I'm going to send the artwork to my father, and I'm like, Grandma, I live with him. I don't have to mail it. So she's a little bit context confused on a couple of things. She may be on some drugs that are hindering, and but yeah, I mean, she sounds really tired and pretty stressed. There's a lot of stim going on, a lot of stuff beeping, but she's surrounded by family and loved ones, and she got to see them all, and she's happy about that. So she says, you know, she doesn't know when she'll see them again, but she's saying she'll get out of the hospital on Friday, and you know, that might be the case. I hope that it is. She's also talking about that she wants to sleep and not be disturbed. So, you know, I don't really know what to expect next. I don't think anyone really does, but she's 90 years old, and this is what happens, I guess, when you age. So I asked her if she's, you know, peaceful. I said, you sound peaceful. She says she is. I don't really know if there's much more that you can hope for, you know, surrounded by family, you know, even if it's, you know, the end of your days. I guess that's what you would want. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty autistic. I don't really understand most things, but I think maybe better than most people in my family. Like, even though they're there directly and I'm just like here, because I didn't even get word that I would need to go visit. I was out, you know, in the woods, and I think the family knows, like, I'm not capable. Like, it's not that I'm not willing. I'm not capable of driving that far. And but yeah, like, she's blind anyway, and we talk pretty frequently. Like I said, she knows exactly who I am, and yeah. So my dad just texted us. You heard that buzz, and he said, "Oh, I made her so happy that you called." I'm like, "Yeah, she likes me," because I call her up like a bro. I tell her all my bro shit. I don't talk to her like she's a 5-year-old. I don't do that whole shit. Like, oh, hello. Oh, how are you? I don't do any of that. I don't know if anyone else does that. I know some people do. The wasps did this. Oh yeah, there they are. You can see them still. Yeah, there they are. The bald hornets, maybe. Spooky. Yeah, I came here to check them out. I'm gonna go over to the herb garden. That's where I'm off to now. We're gonna smoke a fucking bowl. Let's go. Let's go. Didn't get to smoke a bowl with my grandma in this lifetime, but it wasn't really her prerogative. So, we've arrived now at the herb garden. I want to see if I'm the only one here. There may be people in here. It's hard to tell. Like, I sometimes like lay down and hide. Not on purpose, but like, just like, this is like something that people do. This thing is so much bigger than last year already. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy how big it is this year. Like, compared to the last, because like, I've been monitoring this thing for 4 or 5 years. This is by far, oh my god, fucking thing. This is by far the biggest I've ever seen it. Like, by far the biggest. Look at this. It's just ridiculous. It's every time I look at this silly plant, I'm just like, why is it doing this? These things are crazy. I'm gonna plant it and grow it. So it comes down to this, right? If there's economic incentive to do something, and it's a genuine economic incentive, then it can be scaled up, usually. So say every single one of these crops is worth money, and we could save the economy, and we all could make $200 extra if we all just became a flower exporter. You know, if every single person planted New England aster in their yard. Personally, I think the property value itself goes up because the pollinators go up. You know, everything goes up, you know? And at this time, I think we may already be past the critical tipping point where, like, even if you brought back all the nature all at once that had all been destroyed and you just cast a spell that's just like rejuvenate life, costs 4 greens and a swamp. And it's just like untap all lands. You can tap them for double mana. Like, even if we instituted that, I don't think there's anything left in the deck to populate. Like, I don't think that there's any spells left that we can cast because nature costs and takes a long time to build itself out. You know, it's like, if you destroy 100% of something, it never comes back, but if you destroy 90% of something, it also may never come back and may go extinct. And so I don't know if we're at that point, but like I know that we're not trying to fix it. I also know that I need earplugs. We'll be right back to this. Actually, this one's interesting because I am allowed to put it on YouTube, but I'm not allowed to put it on Instagram, and I actually had to sign a thing that says that I'm not allowed to like put certain things that I can't even talk about what it is online. So you actually will not see any of this footage on, this is like going to be a YouTube exclusive, and that's because this is what is referred to as deadly nightshade, and rightfully so. Yeah, don't fuck with any plant with the word deadly in it. There's like I'm not a deadly plants channel. I'm a flowers, like I'm not gonna skip it just because it's deadly. But yeah, this one right here is a deadly plant, so that's kind of spooky. Top 10 cars of the day in Albany, New York, and surrounding capital region areas. It's not a good color. This is Creeping Charlie. Maybe I shouldn't have picked it just because it's kind of out here, but whatever, I'm not really that concerned. And then that is Virginia Creeper, and it is creeping up the Catalpa tree? Is that right? That may be right. That may also be wrong. I'm not very good with trees. This one's a white pine though. That's a nice tree. I think they should plant a new tree of that tree unless they're planning to not hold the land. If they're planning to not hold the land, then like that's fine. You could just keep these and not worry about it. But if you're planning to hold land in what they call perpetuity, or you know, in solidarity with a historic land trust, whatever the fuck you want to call it, whether it's the zoning is you can't do it because of the airport or whatever, it's just not good land, whatever it is that keeps this site open as like a heritage site, they need more trees. Like where's the new trees? Like this tree was planted in 2023 upon the revival movement led by a cult leader that popped up in 2023, or like it'll be like a plaque. The year is 2121. Great grandchildren are here. Look, that's the cops over there. No, maybe not actually. No, definitely not. It's just like some guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to accuse that random guy of being the cops. That'd be weird, you know. I guess I also drove here today. Ain't no way this isn't a typo. Ain't no way that this is not a typo. I'll show you, nothing. I'll show you not a damn thing. Don't eat pokeweed. Don't eat it. Is that lobelia? Definitely not. It's gotta be something different. That is Bugloss. Yeah, what did I call it? I actually was thinking that the most similar plant that it looked like was Viper's Bugloss, but I didn't want to say it because I knew that it wasn't Viper's Bugloss, but I should have guessed Bugloss because it did look like the same Pokemon. Like it looked like the same evolutionary line, you know? Definitely had that vibe to it. And that it could be a different thing. Tansy, that's kind of cool. Where's the fucking bittersweet dude? Like, it's actually got me, like, really tilted. Did they just, like, straight not have it? How could they not? Like, I can understand if they don't have one of them. Because that would be good. Like, you don't want to plant the Oriental one. Or you can call it ornamental, but that's not what it is. It's like... I don't see it doing any of the things that I don't normally see it doing, so it's like, mullein. Greater common mullein. Aaron's rod has a million common names and uses. Let's go. Wow, I didn't know mullein was like that. Mullein's good for stuff? Mums? Note to self. Shoe insoles? Honestly? I kind of get it. Maybe not the mass-produced, you know, factory-grown mullein. Now we got synthetic fibers. But Good to know, good to know. Chicory intybus. I always want to say itty-bittus, because it looks kind of like that, but that's actually just because I am dyslexic. Jaundice, upset stomach, diuretic, laxative, coffee substitute. Yeah, people were telling me that it's like a coffee substitute, and I just think that that's crazy. Like, not to say they're wrong, I just like, big if true. Yeah, they get rid of the poppies. That's not on my account. Also, I have no idea what the growth cycle of poppies is. So for all I know, that could just be like normal. But to me, it seems like maybe someone interfered with that life cycle, which like, if you know, you know. Lung warrior again, blue indigo, buttercup. Okay, we have now walked around like 3 times, and I just don't think they have it. I swear that they did. They must have gotten rid of it. Because I've checked like every single plant like 3 times now. Some of these plants are great. Sweet marjoram, tonic, salt, and aromatic, diuretic, culinary. We could eat this. Gotta get the time out. Let me look this up. This one requires further inquiry, because I've tried every part of the plant, like other than the stem. I tried this, which is like the seeds. I tried one singular flower, but I tried it from down here so that I wasn't harvesting anything that was on the plant. And then I did harvest one leaf from the plant, and none of it had really any taste. Like, I was expecting it to like taste like something, and it like really didn't. There was like it was literally like it tasted like nothing, and I was a little put off by that, because I was like, well, it tastes like the oregano, and I was like, no, that's the oregano. And so I was like, yeah, but this bug loss is pretty cool. I wonder where this bug loss is from. Like, maybe like England or something. Like, I doubt it's you know, the other one, the viper's bug loss, is not from around here, because vipers aren't from around here. So that's what I would think that that's like, you know. This one's kind of cool. Anthemis tincoria. From the flower, a yellow dye for textiles or hair, huh? Interesting. I wonder what it smells like. I'm just gonna like, I'm not even gonna pick it, I'm just gonna like do that. It's not great. It's not really something that I like. But compared to this though, look at these thorn apples. That's so cool. Devil's apple, Jimson weed. I always thought that these came from trees. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Bruh, ain't no way. Eye surgery? Bruh. Bruh. This is Datura stramonium. And it is also known as thorn apple. And we're at the Shaker Heritage Site today. And I'm going to show you something with no other context, with no context, because I don't know how to give it further context. I know what you know. Bruh. 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 So this one is lit. Look at this name. Artemisia Abrotanum. It sounds like a wizard or like a Pokemon. It's good for wounds and worms. This is really good to know. It's called Old Man. Is that this one? I'm gonna smell it. I don't want to harvest too much though, so. Oh, wow. Whoa. What? What? This is really interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. Let me get a little bit with this. So it has a sweetness texture to it, but it's also, and this is gonna sound a little weird, it's like, it's not pine, it's distinct, but it's piney. Like the thing that I think is the most similar to this, to me, would be like if you mixed cinnamon and like a tree, like a hemlock almost. I have no idea what this is related to, or what that compound is that I'm smelling, or if it could be isolated, but it's really good. Alright, I'm gonna look up if you could eat it, but I don't want to smell it again. I don't want to harm the plant or like encourage people to like do what I'm doing, by the way. Like I'm doing this in the name of science, so like I don't feel that bad. And like I also wait till the season is really starting to die when I know I really won't interfere in the growth cycle of the plant at all before I start like snipping at things in public parks. You know, it's not good. It's not good, especially if you do it in the spring. And like, so you don't want to encourage people to do it like at all. See, that one didn't smell as much. All right, I'm gonna look up if I can eat it. Once again, it has been confirmed that all of the ones from Artemisia abrotanum are toxic to humans. So I'm gonna wash my hands again. What a nightmare today is. I really got that one in there too. Because it contains some acid that is toxic to humans. So how toxic? We will never know. But if anyone asks us, I was touching Artemisia abrotanum. But it's used in wound cleansing, so it's like, it's a little weird. Like, this is a conspiracy. It's Wikipedia. This is just, I'm new to the game, so like, people probably have known this for years, but like, is Wikipedia like in cahoots with like big pharmacy? Because I look it up on Wikipedia and there's like a whole thing that says like toxicity, and then you look at it, it says all parts of the plant, all aerial parts are toxic because they contain these things in the oils. Hey man, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. But then you look at another source and it's like, it gives the same thing, listed as like a tea and like a thing that they like literally, and this is gonna sound kind of gross, shoved in infants' butts to stop parasites. Like, oh, okay, I don't really know who decided to start doing that or why or when, but I gotta say, like, apparently that I guess was thought to work, or more aptly maybe does work, and maybe like actually does work. I have no idea. Like, I'm not claiming to be a scientist. Like, I'm over here washing my hand because it says it's toxic, but like, is that a brain fuck? Like, is that something that's like engineered? Like, was I set up to fail? Like, was that information like suppressed to like propagandize the citizenry? To like suppress knowledge of the natural world? Or like, I have no idea, man. You know, like, it could be nothing. It could be just I spelled it wrong and I'm dyslexic and haven't noticed yet, and I'm gonna sound like an idiot when I upload this. Or it could be a very deep conspiracy that like everyone probably already knows about, and I'm just a noob. Like, I'm just getting into this because I'm getting into this. I'm just like, I'm not like, you know, like, how far does the rabbit hole go? Like, I have no idea. But I know that this plant smells really good. It's very strange, and I don't know what else to say about it, other than I've read conflicting sources, and one of those very conflicting sources is Wikipedia, and that doesn't really surprise me. Closer inspection, I was missing the section that says uses. I was just going straight to toxicity, but uses also really like fails to mention like many of the uses that I was reading on. Like, it seemed, at least to me, it was matching up with what this said, you know, about the worms and the wound cleansing. It was saying that. It was saying all sorts of stuff about it. And then Wikipedia seems like very strangely like a kindergartner, like a second grader wrote the Wikipedia article. Like, can we not get a botanist to write a better Wikipedia article? Like, is there a reason why that hasn't been done? Like, is it for lack of like volunteers? Because I mean, ChatGPT could probably fucking format it for us, you know? Like, I mean, it wouldn't take very long for like some expert doctor to come along and just like write a whole write-up about Artemisia abrotanum. Ain't gonna be me, man. Thanks for joining. We'll be right back after this. You better go back to doing whatever you were doing before I was up in your business. Oh, you're gonna stare at me more? I see how it is. You wanna have a stare down? I like when cows stare at you. The Lovely Lady song from Les Mis sounds like the Oompa Loompa song. That's fucked up, bro. And that's like a fact in my head right now. I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, yo, that's actually like the same BPM or whatever. There's some similarities there. I don't know exactly what they are. We'll have to come back here with my DSLR. MSLR. Mirrorless bitch. Yeah, we definitely have to come back here at a different time. Alright, thanks for joining.